Hi everyone. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Thursday. Oh my gosh. Happy Thursday. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. I'm going to start at 10:33. But the props you're going to need, I know in the email I said you're going to need a chair, but I've actually nixed the chair. So you're just going to need a yoga block, a yoga belt, and if you want a blanket for under your knees. And today's practice is going to be a little bit more active. It's sort of an energizing practice, or hopefully energizing practice. So yeah, get ready to move your body and feel good. I'm just going to test out my lighting here while we wait. Oh, I'm going to change my frame a little. See. Better. I've realized I've been wearing a lot of black in all my videos, so I wore white today, but I'm a little blown out in the frame, so hopefully you guys will still be able to see me okay. So we're going to get started in 2 minutes. Make sure you have your yoga block, your yoga belt, and a blanket if you want it. Hope you all are having a good week so far. My week has been all right. Working away on my task list of getting things done around the house that I don't usually want to do or take the time to do. So my house is going to be incredibly organized at the end of all of this. If you're signed in to your Gmail or your Google account, you should be able to access the chat if you have any questions, comments, class requests. You want to just say hello and let me know you're here. We're going to start in just about a minute here, so make sure you have everything ready, everything that you need. I don't know if you guys saw the photo I had while you were waiting, but these are my little yoga frogs. My mom got them for me. This guy's doing a tree pose. This guy's doing, I think he's doing a twisting lunge. And I just think they're so cute. So I had them as the little screenshot while he waited for me to get here. We're going to get started right about now. So come to sit with a nice tall spine. As always, if you'd like some extra support and comfort for your low back while sitting, you can sit up onto a block or even a folded blanket or a pillow, just something that's going to lift your hips up. Just helps to tilt the pelvis forward and take some of the tightness off the low back. So sitting tall, letting the eyes close. Starting to turn inwards. And just noticing how the body is feeling today. Notice where you're holding on to some tension, maybe through the shoulders, letting those shoulders just melt down away from the ears. Notice what's happening in the muscles of the face, relaxing through the space between the eyebrows and through the jaw. Letting your belly be soft so that it can move freely as you breathe. And then shifting your focus to your breath. Feeling the breath move through your body. Starting to deepen the breath, lengthening out your inhales, slowing down your exhale. Taking your inhale and your exhale through the nose if possible. Slow and steady rhythm of breath here. One more deep breath. And then blinking the eyes open. We are going to start lying down today with your belt nearby. We're going to stretch those legs and hips out a little bit. So lying down on your back. I'm going to slide my blanket under my head just for some extra comfort. And you can start with the knees bent or straight, your choice. Take a moment to let the back settle into the floor. And then with the knees bent, feet on the floor, wiggle those feet so they're wide distance apart. And just start to windshield wiper those legs. So rocking them side to side. Moving slowly with the breath. Exhaling to drop the knees to one side, inhaling to lift. Exhaling to the other side. Bringing those knees back to center, and you can step the feet back to hip distance apart. Hugging your right knee in toward the belly. Pause there. You can circle out that right ankle if that feels good. Give the toes a wiggle. And then we're looping the belt around the sole of our right foot and stretching it up toward the ceiling. Holding one end of the belt in each hand, and make sure you slide that belt so it comes toward the toes. You don't want the belt to be in the middle of the foot or toward the heel. It just will give you less stretch if it's there. Remember, we're trying to get that knee on the right leg to straighten. So if that means you need to drop your foot a little lower, that's totally fine. Reaching through the heel of the right foot. Big deep breath. Your next exhale, stretch the left leg out along the floor. Reach out through the left heel as well. Notice how that might change the stretch in the right leg. Keep breathing. Bring both ends of the belt into your right hand, reaching that right hand up as though you're trying to reach for your right toes. Left hand can come down to the floor or even onto your left hip bone. As you exhale, you're going to open your straight right leg out to the right. You want to reach through that right heel, activating through that right leg. Reach through the left heel. Keep that left hip grounded. Breathe. Notice if you've tensed up through the shoulders or the face. Let those muscles soften. Inhale to bring the foot back up to center. Change hands on the belt. Keep that right foot up high. As you exhale, we're taking that right foot toward the left, but just a little bit. So I'm not coming into a twist here. I'm just bringing the right foot toward the left side of my body. I can feel a big stretch through this entire outer side of my right leg. So the more you reach up through the heel, the more intense that stretch might feel. Inhale to bring your right foot to center. Release it from the belt. Let the legs relax for a moment. Big deep breath. And then bend your knees. Feet on the floor. Hug your left knee in. Pause. Maybe circling out the left ankle. Looping your belt around the sole of your left foot, stretching it up toward the ceiling. Reaching up through that left heel. Breathing. With an exhale, let's stretch that right leg out on the floor. So you reach out through that right heel. Right leg is activated. Left leg is activated. Bringing both ends of the belt into your left hand. Right hand can come down to the floor. As you exhale, open your straight left leg out to the left, still reaching through both heels. Inhale the leg to center, switching hands on the belt, taking the left foot toward the right, just past the midline of the body. Inhale the foot to center, release the foot from the belt. Belt can move off to the side. Let those legs relax. Maybe wiggle them out a little. Bend your knee. Roll to your side. We're coming up to hands and knees, tabletop position. Blanket under the knees if you like. Lining those knees up under the hips, the wrists under the shoulders, starting with a nice long spine. Deep inhale. Exhaling to round the spine up into cat. Inhaling to arch the back, reaching those hips up, looking up into cow spine. Moving with your breath, your pace. Inhale back to your neutral spine. You might walk your hands so the wrists come slightly ahead of the shoulders. Curl your toes under, lift up and back, downward facing dog. You might walk it out here, pedaling the feet, bending one knee at a time. Inhale to walk your feet toward your hands towards your feet. Slowly uncurl to come all the way up to stand. Perfect. You can move your blanket off your mat. We're done with that for now. Coming up to stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. We're going to do a little standing flow here just to get the blood pumping, get our energy moving. So standing tall, take a breath. Inhale, sweep those arms up. As you exhale, we're side bending toward the right side. So right hand comes to the hip, left arm reaches up and over. You can't see my hand, but my fingers are stretching and reaching. I want you to pay attention to what's happening in your legs and your feet. Try to balance the weight between the left and the right foot. Feel that big stretch come through the side body. Inhale to come up to center. Exhale to the other side. Try to keep the chest open. With an inhale, come all the way up. Reach both arms up, look up, lengthen up. As you exhale, swan dive, fold from the hips, come all the way down forward. Reaching toward the floor. If you can't touch the floor, that's fine. Let the hands rest on the shin. With your next inhale, you're going to deeply bend the knees, sitting into a chair pose. Sweep those arms up and forward. Shoulders are down, chest is lifted. Weight comes back into the heels. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms down. We're going to do that 2 more times, a little bit faster. Inhale. Exhale, side bend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. Belly hugs to the spine, shoulders relax. Straighten the legs, relax the arms. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. In and out. Deep breath in. Forward fold. Inhale to chair. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Shake that off a little bit. All right. Step those feet nice and wide apart. Take a peek down. Make sure your feet are parallel with the short edges of your mat. Your toes should be pointing straight ahead. Line up your 2 heels. Get your alignment. Stack the shoulders over the hips. And then stretch those arms out wide into star pose. So activate those arms. Reach the fingers away from each other. Keep the hands, the arms at shoulder height. Reach up through the crown of your head so your spine is long. Root down through your feet. Feel yourself rooted to the ground. Deep breath. Rotate the right toes out. Turn to look over the right fingers, and as you exhale, deeply bend into your right knee, warrior two. Line the right knee up with the right ankle. Press into the baby toe edge of the left foot. Arms are still strong. They might feel like they're working because they've been lifted for a little while. Moving into dancing warrior. Keep the legs just as they are. Rotate the right palm up and stretch the right arm up toward the ceiling, getting a stretch through the side body. Notice that my hips don't lift up. I keep the deep bend into my right knee. Gaze might turn up toward the right fingers here. As you exhale, side bend. Take the elbow to the thigh, right elbow to right thigh. Sweep your left arm up and over into extended side angle. Now you might notice that right quadricep, that right thigh muscle starting to warm up. Because now it's been working. Keep the chest lifting up toward the ceiling. Keep breathing. Back leg stays straight and strong. Inhale, come all the way back to your warrior two. Then straighten that leg. Keep the arm strong. Turn your right toes forward. Squeak, squeak, squeak on your mat. Pause here in star pose. Deep breath in, sweep the arms up. Exhale to fold. Now if your hands aren't reaching the floor, you can always get your block. Use your block here for some support. Let the neck relax so the top of the head is moving toward the floor. I almost said ceiling. As you inhale, slowly come all the way up. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your toes out and bring your heels in a little bit. So your feet are just at a comfortable angle. Shoulders roll back. Stretch those arms out wide again, but this time bend at the elbows so the hands are reaching up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, you're going to bend into both of your knees. Goddess squat or wide-legged squat. So you keep your back nice and tall here. Tailbone is sliding down toward the floor. Imagine you have a wall behind you and you're sliding your back down that wall. Keep breathing. Inhale, straighten the legs. Give your arms a little break. Shake it out. Turn those toes forward. Ready for all that on the other side? Let's take those arms back to star pose. Turn your left toes out. Turn the gaze over your left fingers. Relax those shoulders. As you exhale, deeply bend your left knee. Line the knee with the ankle. Sink into those hips. Breathe. Arms are strong. Dancing warrior, flip that left palm up. Stretch the left arm up. Right hand comes down onto the right leg. Keep those hips low. Keep that deep bend in your knee. Feel that stretch through the side of your body. Exhale, side bend. Left elbow to left thigh. Sweep that right arm up and over. Keep the chest lifting up toward the ceiling. Keep that back leg strong and straight. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn your left foot forward. Star pose, pause for a breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale to fold. Again, sliding a block under your hand if you need. Hip cramp. Inhale to slowly come on up. Bring the heels in, the toes out. Another round of goddess wide leg squat. Arms stretch out wide. Elbows bend, cactus arms. As you exhale, deeply bend those knees. Sit low, maybe lower than last time. Feel the belly button hugging in toward the spine. Maybe you want to find a little bit of movement here. Looks kind of funny in the camera. I did this pose, I've done this pose with a teacher that makes you growl as you come into it. All right, one more breath. Sit low. And then inhale, straighten those legs. Let's step those feet together. Take a breath. Notice the body. Feel the temperature. Feel your heart rate, your breath. All right, coming toward the front of your mat. Standing in Tadasana Mountain Pose. Deep inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale to your half forward fold. So slide the hands to the shins. Stretch the spine forward. Lift the chest. Look forward. And then exhale. Plant the hands. Walk your feet back to a plank. Surprise plank on a Thursday morning. So reach those heels back. Hug the belly in tight. If you need to take the knees down, that's totally fine. Listen to your body. Let's hold here on our plank. One more breath. Great job. Take the knees down. From here, we're moving into a child's pose for a rest. Knees come wide, toes together. Sit back and rest. Inhale to slowly make your way up out of your child's pose. Untuck those legs. All right. Pardon me. We're going to move onto our back. We're going to work with a active bridge and then a supported bridge. So make sure you have your block nearby. So when we move into our supported bridge, remember you're sliding your block at whichever height. So it can be at this height, it could be at this height, or it could be at this height. And you're sliding it under the sacrum. So when you work your way down the spine, you find that flat plate at the bottom behind the hips. That's where you want, that's the part of the body you want resting on your block. But before we get comfy with the block, we're doing an active bridge. So just have that block nearby and lay down on the back. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Pause here. Let the body sink into the mat. Knees are bent, feet are hip distance apart, and you want to make sure your heels are close into the body. So you can think of keeping your knees and ankles lined up, or for some of us, you can sort of tickle the back of your heels with the fingers. If bridge pose is something you work with often, you can choose an arm position of your choice. If you're not as familiar with it, then you're going to follow along with me with the elbows bent and the fingers reaching up toward the ceiling, palms facing one another. You're going to use this arm position to help roll the shoulders back, pressing the backs of the arms and the shoulders into the mat, keeping the chest nice and open. As you exhale, you're going to press into your feet, into those arms, and you're going to lift your hips up as high as you can get them today. So keep pressing through the heels. And notice if your knees start to open wide, squeeze the inner thighs together. Make sure the chest is lifting up toward your chin. You don't want your chin moving toward your chest. You want your neck to be long and soft. Keep breathing. Good job. Exhale, lower the hips. Come all the way down. You might swing the knees a little side to side. And then getting ready for a supported bridge. So finding your block, you're going to lift those hips, slide your block, whatever height works for you, under the sacrum. So under the hips, that flat plate that shouldn't be on your vertebrae. Arms can then rest beside you. We're going to stay here for about 2 minutes. So close the eyes, feel the breath. All right, taking one more deep breath here. I hope you couldn't hear my stomach making all that gurgling noise while we were there. Lift your hips up and lower those hips all the way back down to the floor and give those knees a hug in toward the belly. Let's find a little rock and roll side to side here. Circle around the knees, massage out the back. Placing the feet back on the floor, getting ready for thread the needle, lifting the right foot up, crossing it over, outer right ankle, top of the left thigh, opening through that right knee and hip. Staying here if that's enough of a stretch for you today, or hugging the legs in, making sure that right knee isn't collapsing in toward the belly. Breathe. Exhale to release. Bring those feet all the way back down to the floor and switch sides, lifting that left leg up, crossing it over, opening through that knee and hip. And then maybe hugging the leg in toward you without letting that left knee collapse inward. You can always flex through your ankle, your left ankle, left foot here, especially if you feel any tension in the knee or the ankle. Exhale to release. Let those feet come back down onto the floor. All right, time for our final twisting posture. Give those knees a hug. Keep the knees where they are. Let the arms open wide onto the floor. And we're letting the knees drop to the left side. All the way down to the floor or supporting them with a block if you need to or you want to. Inhale your knees up to center. Exhale them to the other side. You don't have to use the block. You can certainly have the knees all the way to the floor. Inhale your knees up to center. It is time for Shavasana. You made it. So let those legs stretch out if that's comfortable. If not, you can keep the knees bent or find any other comfortable variation that works for you. Arms resting beside you, letting the eyes close, relaxing the entire body. Nothing else for you to do, just time for you to rest. Okay, starting to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, wake your body back up. Bending your knees, bringing your feet onto the floor. Take a big deep breath in through the nose and let the breath sigh out of your mouth. Roll onto your right side, using that right arm as a pillow to help keep your head supported, taking a couple of breaths here. And then press into the hands to come all the way back up to sitting. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. I'll stay on for a couple of minutes if anyone is in the chat or wants to ask me any questions. If not, you can always send me an email as well. I really love doing these lives, and I love especially hearing from you afterwards that you practiced and that there were no glitches and that it worked out well. I had a request this week also to do an evening class, so I'm going to try to schedule an evening class next week, likely as well as the Thursday morning. So if you didn't see my email or my Facebook notification, I will be just keeping the time and the day Thursdays at 10:30 for the lives. And then if I'm adding one more or if there's any change to the schedule, I'll either email something or put something on the Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, make sure you like the Your Best Yoga Facebook page because that is where I post all the updates. Hopefully you guys aren't minding the shorter classes. Like I said, I'm just trying to keep them a bit shorter because I don't know if that was the problem the first week. If it went too long and the stream cut out or something with the Wi-Fi. So I'm trying to keep them to 45 minutes total. So, all right, well, I see that some people are heading out, so I am going to do the same. Again, send me an email if you would like to. Thank you and have a great rest of your week. Stay safe, everybody.